Routine that I figured out in the last week or so, because spring is now on its way. So yeah, just keep watching. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and pop my hair back using some of these little clips that I bought from Shein. I'm just gonna pop those so that the hair's out my face. The one is upside down, but oh well. The first thing I use, as you can probably tell from all of my other videos, is primer. And the primer that I'm loving at the moment is the vitamin enriched moisturising primer by Primark. This is the Perfect one. I like this primer because it's moisturising as it's supposed to be. It also makes my makeup last a little bit longer as well. I just put this on my face, and I always put it on first so that it can soak in whilst I do my eyebrows. So for the first thing I use on my eyebrows, I use a brow pencil, and the one that I'm currently liking, which is a new favourite but it's an old favourite at the same time, is the Revolution Relove brow blade. And I just use this to fill in my eyebrows. I fill in my eyebrows first because I do find that if it doesn't glide on as well with the gels over the top. And I start by outlining my eyebrow. And then I'll fill it in a little bit as well, so obviously making sure that the end's darker than the front. And then I'll use the spoolie at the end to blend out the front bits to make sure it's good. Next, I'm going to use the Got2b brow gel. This is the waterproof one, however I prefer the original one because I find that this one's a little bit watery and it's not actually waterproof, unfortunately. So, but this may not be a part of my everyday makeup routine for long, because I did notice that Superdrug has a dupe of the original one, so I'm going to be trying that out in the next few weeks, which will probably be on my TikTok. So if you're not following that, go ahead, follow it. And I just pop this over my eyebrows to set them into place. Because I'm paranoid that there's gaps in my eyebrows, and because I like to make them a tiny bit darker, I'm going in with the Essence Make Me Brow, which again won't be a part of my routine for long, just because I'm nearly out of it. And I used to get it from my local Wilko's, which, if you're not from the UK, Wilko's actually closed down all their stores, like, I think it was in 2023. So that was the only place that I could get this from, and yeah, so I'm going to be looking for a new tinted eyebrow gel. I think I'm going to be trying out a couple of the Shein and Temu products. So for my eyeshadow base, I am also going to be investing in an eye primer, because concealer obviously works very well, but eyeshadow primer is made to make the eyeshadow last. But this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I think this is in the shade 3, and I use this both as an eyeshadow base, and it's the one that I use underneath my eyes as well. And I go in with this big fluffy brush. These pink handled brushes are from Shein, by the way. I got them for my birthday off one of my best friends. I do like to set that down because I find that because I've got hooded eyes, the creasing is a little bit more, but I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in the same brush to set that. For eyeshadow, I like to use the Mini Match Shadow Palette in Cherry Please from Heart Revolution. Looks like this, and I use every single colour in here. This is the only thing really I use, starting off with this peachy shade here, and I use that as my transition shade. As I said, it is spring, like coming into spring now. We are now on the first week of March, which means that at the end of the month, the clocks are going forward, meaning we're going to get lighter nights and lighter mornings, which is absolutely amazing. But anyone from the UK is like, what is she on about? Lighter nights, lighter mornings, the clock's changing and that. In the UK, every spring and autumn, the clocks change and they either spring forward or fall back, which is how you can remember which one's which. I may be wrong right now and they may be going back, but I'm pretty sure they go forward in the spring. But spring is actually my favourite season, so you'll probably find that my mood's a lot better as well in the spring. Over on my TikTok page, I will start doing more spring outfits of the days, which is a commitment because as of filming this video right now, it is Pancake Day as I'm filming this, and unfortunately I haven't uploaded anything onto TikTok for a while because I simply haven't had anything to film. I went to the zoo for my best friend's birthday, but I was in a rush because I woke up late, so I didn't want to film. And then I just haven't done anything to warrant making a video. Like, I know I could always do just random videos, but I like to be a little bit more organised. I'm just going to go in with this pink colour here now. And this is going to be my main crease colour. So, obviously, now that spring's on its way, I'm going to be making the most of feeling myself. Obviously, I do have a part-time job as well, so obviously that has to come first, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would love to do this all the time. YouTube isn't really a big deal for me because I always find time to do YouTube because I only have to film one video a week and then I'll edit it and then jobs are good one. Whereas with TikTok, I feel you have to be a lot more consistent, and with the way my life is right now, it's not that simple as much as I would love to. So I do focus on YouTube because that's my dream, is being a YouTuber. As I said in my goals video, there's a random vlog somewhere on the internet of me 13 years old vlogging, so it just shows how much I wanted this. I'm going in with this one here now. All these colours, I do basically just slap them on and hope for the best. I just like to use these as a little bit more of a pop, you get what I mean? I do just go in after with a really big brush and just blend that out. I know I said that I only use the palette for eyeshadow. I was wrong. I was very wrong. I also use the e.l.f. liquid metallic eyeshadow in the shade Comet. And I use this as like a little base for my shimmer shade. I will blend this out just like all over my eyelid. And this allows for a little base because I really like glitter. Helps make the eyeshadow pop. And then for my eyelid, I use the bright pink shimmer. I go in with the same brush, just flat brush. I'm gonna leave the eyeshadow like that for now, and I'm gonna go ahead and sort my base out, which is very simple. And I'm gonna use, this is a new favourite of mine, it is the Rimmel London Kind and Free Skin Tint. This is in the shade 10 Ivory, which seems to be a perfect match for me. And then I just use this. Also, please bear with me in this video. I've managed to catch something off someone and I have a very sore throat, which in turn is making me struggle to breathe a little bit. But I'm getting through this. And then I just use my Poundland brush to blend that in. The eyeshadow brushes with the blue handles, they are Amazon, I believe. A lot of my brushes were gifted to me, that's why I say I believe. This and my powder brush are the only two that I bought. I'm pretty sure they're both from Poundland. And then I'm going to pop some of the Maybelline Fit Me Again underneath my eyes. I don't put much, just like that. I just use the same brush that I use on my eyes to blend this out. I also like to use this concealer to shape the eyeshadow a tiny bit, but not too much because I'm not overly bothered about it. I was using the Revolution Concealing Define in the shade C5 to pop over the top of any blemishes, which are quite a few because I'm due on, so it does however mean that I'm breaking out. I always like to put some around my nose just because my nose is another one of those places that gets very red and dry. So if I can colour them up, better. I'm just going to use the same brush, blend that in. Also, please don't come at me. I couldn't really care less about bacteria and stuff like that on makeup brushes and that. Now I'm going to set my under eyes with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder Puff. That's how I always do it. This powder puff is actually a Minnie Mouse one. Please ignore how dirty it is. It's a Minnie Mouse one from Primark. I had got it a few months back. And I just use this because I find that it allows for even application. And then I use a big fluffy brush to set the rest of it. Also, I don't know whether you've noticed, but in my natural makeup look, I don't use a sponge because I don't find that I need it. However, for more full coverage looks, oh, I just knocked my table. For more full coverage looks, then I will go over with a sponge, but 9 times out of 10 I'm using a brush at the moment. I've just tried to line that up the same. However, if it looks a bit different, it's because my camera setup has just flew off my table because my extension lead fell onto the floor. So if it looks any different, that is why. For contour slash bronzer, I kind of use it as both. I use the Revolution Real Love Contour Trio in the shade Sugar, and I use this shade here, and I just pop a little bit of bronzer on my cheeks, forehead, and my jaw. Blend it down my neck a little bit. I do like to take a little bit down the side of my nose. I don't know if it actually does anything. That's what I like to do. And I use the blusher in the same palette as well, which is a pinky shimmery shade. But because I want the eyes to be the star of the show, I don't want like full blown. Like, don't get me wrong, I still love a bright blush, but it doesn't need to be too bright. And then we are now at my favourite part of this entire look. As I keep saying, I love glitter. And so, if you don't know already, the next step is highlighter. And the highlighter that I have fallen in love with, literally, is the MUA Makeup Academy Shimmer Highlight Powder. This is the pink shimmer one. And it looks like this. And I put this on the high point of my face. Just like so. If you're like Dustin, you don't need a heavy hand. And then I will also put a little bit onto my eyelid as well. That is my base makeup done. As I say, it is very simple, but it's very effective. I absolutely love this look so far. And I'm just going to pop the same colours underneath my lash line, but minus the peachy colour because I don't need it. and I just build it up using this brush, which if you have not seen and been here when my channel first started, you won't know that I've had this brush for nearly 7 years now. But this brush I got out of a Clarins eyeshadow palette, and I absolutely love it because the big fluffy end is perfect for eyeshadow underneath my eyes, and then that's perfect for like inner corner highlighter and brow bone, or adding some definition, whatever you'd like to do. And then I use 2 things for my inner corner and brow bone highlight. I do use the very sparkly silver shade in this palette, and I pop this right into my inner corner. And I also pop it right on the high point of my eyebrow. And then I will take my highlighter, if I can open it. That's the only issue I have, is that I struggle opening things. And I take this and I really whack that in. As you can see, it really brightens the eye. I love this highlighter so much. That is actually my eyeshadow complete. As you can see, it's very soft, very pink, very springy. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my eyelash curlers to curl my eyelashes. And then this is going to be another product that I love, but I will not be using again after this. That's just because it is such a wet formula that I'll explain in a minute. But it's my Maybelline Lash Sensational Waterproof Mascara. I swear, something's underneath my eye and it won't go away. Apparently I wanted my cat underneath my eye. But I love the original Lash Sensational, but this one is the waterproof one. And I want to say that it's waterproof for the most part, but it is not smudge proof at all. I don't know whether it claims to be or not, but I find that it's a lot more smudgy than the original one. I do usually put 2 coats on, however, unfortunately, I need to let that dry down a little bit first. So what I usually do before I let that dry down, whilst that's drying down, is I will do my lips. The lip liner I usually use is currently in my handbag. I did forget it. And sadly, I've just checked, I've also left the lipstick I usually use downstairs. So the 2 that I usually use is the Revolution Satin lip liner in the shade White Wedding. I absolutely love that, it's a perfect shade. And then the lipstick I usually use is the Makeup Gallery Get Lippy lipstick. I don't know what shade it is, but yeah. So the lipstick I'm going to use today, and that I do use when I want more of a matte liquid lipstick, is the Technic Cashmere Lip Cream in the shade Stripped. And I'm just going to pat this on. As you can see, this one's more of a peachy nude, whereas the lipstick is more of a pinky nude. And then before this dries down completely, I'm going to go in with my Revolution Hydro Bomb. This is the clear one. It's in the shade Element. I love this lip gloss because it is extremely moisturising. It's not sticky at all, as you can see. So all I've got left to do now is add an extra coat on my eyelashes. I'm going to do any finishing touches. If I let you know of anything that I normally do that I've missed, I'll let you know in a second. I'm just going to sort myself out and I'll be back for the finished look. So this is the finished look. All I did was put an extra layer of mascara on. Sometimes I do have to go in and just touch up a little bit of the brow pencil, but I haven't had to do that today. It's actually held up really well. Update on the background. As you can see, I have put some photos up. However, I'm not 100% happy with the placement, because I don't like how this bit here, there's a gap there. So I'm going to be moving this picture here over slightly, and then the picture that's up there that says "Isn't she lovely" is actually going to go there, because I prefer that one in the frame. That one's still going to be up there. So that is everything. The only thing I need to add into now is some fairy lights, which I'm hopefully getting in the next couple of months. Like I said, because I'm part-time, I have to get everything in, like, when I can. So I'm happy I managed to get pictures. That was the main thing. The fairy lights are indeed coming, so we're just waiting on those. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up for more content. I will know that you like videos like this, which I'm hoping you do, because it's pretty much all my channel is at the moment. Comment any videos down below. I say this in every single video, but I just want to do videos that you are going to enjoy at the same time. I love filming. That's the big bit about me, is I love filming. As long as it's beauty related, I will film it because I love it. And then subscribe if you aren't already, so that we can get to our 1,000 subscriber goal by the end of the year. I'm hoping to get it for Christmas. Fingers crossed. I know it's a bit early to be talking about Christmas, but we are currently in March, which has gone a lot quicker than I expected. So theoretically, this year is going to fly. I reckon this year is going to fly again. So if we can get to 1,000 subscribers by Christmas, that would be amazing. And yeah, I hope that you are having an amazing week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!